Today we're going to make Chantyflex, an amazing and easy to work with cream, which doesn't melt even in hot weather. You can work with it in the summer. You can work with it in a warm room, even in a hot room, because the cream itself will be hot when you make it. And you need to work with it while it's warm. This cream is really easy to make. You can make it whenever you want, because we usually have all the ingredients we need for this recipe. All of them are ordinary products in our kitchen. Cornstarch, sour cream, condensed milk, milk or cream powder, powdered sugar. We usually have all these ingredients at hand. Let's make it, and you will see for yourself that the cream is very pleasant, easy to make and manageable. The first thing we need to do is soaking the gelatin. Gelatin is really important. If you put too little gelatin, the cream won't hold its shape when you start making flowers with it. It will gutter. And even if you manage to make a flower, you won't be able to take it and put it onto the cake. So we don't mess around with gelatin, we take it seriously. We take 8 grams of gelatin according to the recipe and 50 grams of water. I put 8 grams of gelatin into the water. You need to soak the gelatin well so that it gives you all its strengths and qualities. We soak it in cold water and put it into the fridge. Gelatin likes cold. If you doubt that your gelatin is strong enough, add 9 grams of it. If you don't have enough time to soak the gelatin thoroughly, add 9 or 10 grams of it to compensate for short soaking period with the quantity. The best way will be to leave it overnight. If we want to leave it overnight, we cover it with a kitchen film. If you soak it for half an hour, you don't have to do it. If you soak it overnight, cover it with a kitchen film. You make Chantyflex in the morning, you melt the gelatin in the microwave on the 2nd or 3rd mode, hot mode, for about 2 minutes and add it to the cream. I will show you at what stage we do this. To sum it up, if your flowers gutter, the most probable reason for that is gelatin. We leave this gelatin to soak. The gelatin I'm going to use now for making the cream is already in the fridge. I have soaked it beforehand. Now let's collect all our ingredients. All the mixture fits well into a blender cup. Most blenders have such cups in the set. It's very convenient. If you don't have such a cup, take an ordinary bowl and put basic ingredients into it. The basic ingredients for the cream are 200 grams of condensed milk. Condensed milk can be different depending on the manufacturer. It can be quite thick or runny. You'd better take thick condensed milk. And also note that condensed milk can be made from fresh milk or milk powder. Condensed milk made from fresh milk is tastier and thicker. Don't forget to read the ingredients on the package. Okay, 200 grams of condensed milk, 100 grams of sour cream. I have 20% fat sour cream. You can take sour cream 20-25% fat. Sour cream done. Now 2 tablespoons of milk or cream powder. If you noticed, milk powder has a yellowish tint. So I take cream powder only because it's whiter. I automatically brush away products which have yellowish color. So I took cream powder at once, and Chantyflex with it was tasty. It really is whiter, and you will get whiter Chantyflex cream with it. But you can take whatever you have at hand, milk or cream powder. Done. Now we add 80 grams of powdered sugar. This is regular powdered sugar. Done. This is our base. We don't even mix it. Let's put it aside for now. We take a bowl where we can mix cornstarch with water. Pour 250 grams of water into it. 250 grams of water. Now we add 150 grams of cornstarch. I will answer your question. Can we replace cornstarch with potato starch? Yes, you can, but your cream will have gray color. You might have noticed that potato starch usually gives gray color to the product. Cornstarch is white. It has kind of sunny white color when we add it as a thickening agent, and it's healthier. So if possible, better take cornstarch. 150 grams. Don't be afraid. 150 grams is quite a lot. I'm adding it using a spoon so that you could evaluate the quantity. Now we need to mix it thoroughly with water. You will feel some resistance of cornstarch. It's stingy. It won't blend with water right away. It collects into a lump. Keep stirring it, and little by little, its particles will mix with water and the whole mixture will look like milk. It really looks like milk. You won't tell them apart. If you put this mixture aside and let it rest for half an hour, cornstarch will sink again. You'll have to stir it once again. It could happen that somebody or something distracts you, for example. You leave it and don't put these two mixtures together. Just take this mixture and stir it thoroughly again, and then add it to our basic ingredients. We simply pour it into the cup with our basic ingredients. After we have added cornstarch mixture to our basic mixture, we blend them. It doesn't matter whether air bubbles will get into the mixture or not, so blend it safely. The key point at this stage is to make sure you don't have any lumps in the mixture. I am checking and making sure I don't have any lumps. I have some air bubbles, but no lumps. It's great, I did it. We blended our mixture with a blender. The mixture doesn't have any lumps. Now we take a thick-walled saucepan or a thick-walled frying pan and pour this mixture into it. Have a look, there is no cornstarch left at the bottom. The cornstarch spread about the mixture. We pour it into the pan at once. We need to process it right away. If you leave the mixture for half an hour, you have to blend it again first and then pour it into the pan, because cornstarch will sink again. And if it sinks, it will be difficult to boil the mixture smoothly. Now we need to add gelatin into this mixture. But first we melt it in the microwave. We poured our mixture into the frying pan, and now I add melted gelatin. You only need to melt it, you don't have to heat it, because we will heat and boil this mixture down anyway. Why do I use a frying pan? Because it's wide. Why does it have to be thick-walled? Because we don't want our cream to get burned on medium heat that we are going to use. We only need it to set and thicken. So if you don't have a thick-walled frying pan, but you do have a thick-walled saucepan, you'd better take the saucepan. But it's good if you have a large surface, so that it was convenient for you to stir the mixture and it boiled faster. Now we put it on medium heat. We start stirring. Monitor the heat depending on your piece of plate because you know your utensils better. I have a really good thick-walled frying pan, so I can work on medium heat safely, knowing that the cream won't get burned. Starting from this moment, you don't leave the mixture unattended. You have to stir it constantly. A minute and a half passed, and right now we don't see any changes. I'm stirring it with a spatula, scraping the bottom. The mixture remains runny and still looks like milk. Everything remains the same. Approximately 2 minutes passed. Have a look at my spatula now. You see, I have some clots on it, which I scraped off the bottom and the sides. It's a thin layer, which is the first to contact the heated surface. Don't worry, the rest of the mixture remains runny and still looks like milk. Such clots will now appear on the whole surface, in the whole mixture. They will come off and float in separate pieces. You see, I shook it off the spatula and it floats here. They are semi-transparent. They stick to the spatula. You simply go on stirring and collecting these pieces from the bottom and from the sides as well, because they may dry too much on the sides, get very thick and change color. If you feel that you fail to stir fast enough and these clots start changing color, decrease the heat. You see, we already have large lumps sticking to the spatula. This is a small spatula. You can take a larger one. The main point is that it should be firm enough. It's a silicone spatula, but its tip is quite firm and hard, so that you could scrape with it. These clots stay in the mixture, and it should be like this.
Эти сгустки, они так и остаются, то есть это все в норме.
About 4 or 5 minutes passed. I have more and more clots. Soon this mixture will turn into a homogeneous mass, and you need to boil this mass to the full. It's a very interesting process, by the way. Very recreative. I have never made such custard, which collects into large clots like this. Alright, have a look. My milk turned into thick semolina. It's still separated into small pieces. They aren't combined yet. We need to collect them together and mix. If you noticed, it sticks now. It sticks to the frying pan, it spreads about. We need to boil it down until it gets into one lump. It's like making batter for eclairs. In the end, it collects into one lump. The same situation here. I managed to do it very quickly while I was explaining it to you. I'm stirring it, I'm trying to make it stick, but it stays in one large lump now. It's smooth. It has collected all the small scraps off the sides. They are all in one lump.
Все вот эти вот ошметки с боковинок сковородки, все это в кучку собралось.
At this point, we see that our base is ready. If it doesn't get into one lump, it means you didn't boil it down enough. Go on boiling it down. Depending on the pan, depending on whether you have gas or electric stove, it may take more or less time to do it. The main point is that you boil it down until it has such consistency when it collects into a ball, into one lump.
Такой вот консистенции, которая собирается в шарик, которая собирается в одну массу.
And nothing remains. Oh. Well, only if something remains on the wall. Nothing remains on the pan. You see how it gets together. It comes off the pan easily. It's done. I have switched it off. Now we need to put this lump into a bowl for whipping.
Нужно наш вот этот комочек переложить в посуду для взбивания.
We put our lump into the bowl for whipping.
Посуду для взбивания.
We don't need to chill it. If you are ready to proceed, you can add heavy cream at once. The mixture is hot. We have just boiled it. It's dense.
Он вот такой вот плотный. Очень похоже на... И даже запах.
It looks very much like batter for eclairs before you add eggs to it. It even has similar smell. The finishing stage in making Chantyflex cream. We add heavy cream. We add heavy cream, 33-35% fat, into the hot mixture. It says 80 to 100 grams in the recipe. I think after some practice, you will see the consistency of your basic mixture and decide whether you need to add 80, 90 or 100 grams of heavy cream. Now I always add 90 grams because it's mean value. 80 grams are not enough for me because the cream is quite thick. So I add 90 grams, knowing that I can add 10 more grams in case the cream is still too thick. I stir just a little so that the heavy cream didn't spatter when I start whipping. The mixture is not homogeneous. Now let's whip it. It's not about whipping actually, we just need the mixture to become homogeneous.
Тут, знаете, больше не взбиваем, а больше доводим до однородности.
We don't need any extra air in the cream, so don't whip it too much to make it fluffy. I'm not even sure that it's possible. We only need to mix it well until homogeneous.
Нам нужно его хорошо промешать до однородности. Все, крем готов к работе.
That's it. Chantyflex is ready to work with. If you can hold such a hot bag in your hand, you can start making flowers right away. Usually it becomes warm while you get everything prepared. The piping tips and piping bags, food colors. So it will be warm by the time you start piping flowers. Have a look at it once again. Let me spread it thinly on the wall. It doesn't have any lumps. But it may happen that you notice some small specks in your cream, some small lumps. There may be two reasons for that. First, Cornstarch didn't mix well with the basic mixture. And the second reason might be that you missed the first moments of boiling. It's very important that you don't miss them. You should be constantly stirring the mixture. If some cornstarch particles sink to the bottom of the frying pan or saucepan, they will set into hard lumps, and it will be very difficult to spread them in the rest of the mess. You may manage to do this, or you may fail. So stay near and stir constantly. Don't delay adding gelatin as well. You need to add it before you put the pan on the stove. You add gelatin first, stir it well until homogeneous, and then put the whole mixture on the stove and boil it down. Then you shouldn't have any lumps. At the end, after you add heavy cream, you can monitor the consistency of the cream. You can make it more liquid by adding more heavy cream. But you can't make it thicker, so be careful. You'd better add less heavy cream at first, then add too much. Chantyflex cream is ready. We can start piping flowers. When making this cream, we didn't use vanilla. Vanilla extract or vanillin. We didn't use it, though it is included in the recipe, so you can add it safely. You can add it when mixing basic ingredients. You put condensed milk, sour cream, add vanilla extract and so on, and mix them. Why didn't I add vanilla? It's dark. It's very difficult for me to add a teaspoon of dark brown liquid to light cream. My heart breaks. So I prefer adding something light in the end. Find a lighter vanilla extract or add little of it, or add some almond essence at the request of the customer, or lemon essence. You can add any flavor to it, to your liking, whatever you like or whatever your customer wants. Vanilla is the most common and the most expected choice, so you can add it safely.